Hello everyone and welcome to another production of The Single 8 Show. Your name is...
My name is Joseph Mills. Your name is...
The Single 8.
And today on The Single 8 Show,
we are going to be talking about Day of Silence and May Day.
that both fell on the same day for you.
Yes.
Now, was Day of Silence just your school? Or is that a national thing as well?
So it's a national thing, but because actual Day of Silence, which is April 10th, we were on break.
Oh, so you guys didn't do it at your school on April 10th.
So it doesn't make sense to hold a silent protest on a day you can't be there to do said protest.
I think your teachers would disagree, but I get you.
Yeah,
I said it in a snarky way.
Be quiet at home.
Be quiet at home and make your parents happy. But I get it. You want to be out and visible as you are not doing these things to spark fruitful conversation. And I'm going to say fruitful conversation because I know we'll get to a place in this conversation that we will get into non-fruitful conversation.
Yeah.
But to have that interaction is very important.
Yes.
So y'all chose to do it on May 1st.
Yes.
Good. Who was y'all?
Our GSA.
Are you back in the GSA?
No, but one of my friends still is.
Okay.
I'm gonna be back in next year. I need the room to aerate off of the seniors.
Yeah. And when this senior class graduates, it'll be a little bit easier for you to be in the room?
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of the seniors were acting like teenagers last year and not in the good way.
Yeah.
So I need the room to aerate out of that before I want to come back in.
Yeah, we'll talk about that maybe in an episode too, that there are things that are good for us, but unfortunately there's people that don't participate in those things very well, and they make it very miserable experiences for us.
Yeah.
Yes. So let's talk even further. Let's talk about what is the goal of Day of Silence.
Day of Silence is mostly to make awareness around how queer students experience the days and day and experience their way of life and experience who they are with a society that is constantly putting them down, including in schools.
Yeah.
Because let's look it up. There are tons of good information about it. Let's go look up the data, because I cannot think of it off of the top of my head right now. But there's like very high levels of bullying that happen, and I will use myself. I time when I go to the bathroom to make sure no one else is in there.
Because you know when restrooms are normally open or empty?
Yes.
Do you find yourself going during class more than in between classes because it's...
Yes.
Okay.
Or I literally have my 2 breaks at when I do go to the bathroom, which are my normal schedule times.
Yeah.
Which are a little bit, we're not in the passing period, but a little bit at the end of nutrition, 3 to 4 minutes before it ends.
Uh-huh.
And then same again at lunch.
Okay. So that's when people are usually busy with other things, and it's free for you to get there and back.
Yes.
Okay. Which is an issue that you feel silenced about, which is why days like this are very important.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's what it's there to bring awareness to. And with allies, I like highlighting the day of no silence that takes place on the same day. That I highlight and underline the no silence.
All right, so because that's the moment for allies to speak up.
Yeah, that's when the people in the community day to be silent and bring awareness that way. but it's your job to educate on that day. We talked about last week, I believe, on advocacy. This is one of the times when the group is being silent, which it's your time to take up and be outspoken with it. Yet again, I want to clarify from last time, please double check your information and stuff before you say it. We do not want you to accidentally spread misinformation, because that does not help the fight for our rights. So double check information and stuff before you say it. But that's your time to be outspoken, because people in the community is doing their protest most of the time by being silent, because they are advocating for themselves all the time. And that is when you step up.
A few years ago, when I was at my previous worship center, I did a video on the National Day of Silence because they started to shift that focus. It's a National Day of No Silence to make sure that you're speaking out for others, and I really like that.
Yes, and I always like highlighting the no to allies, because Day of Silence is lovingly kind of supposed to be our break. It's a little bit of our break of not having to advocate for ourselves all the time. And
there's some people that can't, which is the other end of this.
Yes.
You're intentionally silenced because of the people that are silenced. And
yes.
You make it more aware of, hey, this is a big freaking problem, kids.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of doing. AKA, that's your job to do the advocacy work for people who can't and people who are staying silent on the day. Yeah. That are a part of the community, for people who are representing the people who are actively being silent.
Yes.
That there's a reason we are doing a podcast when I do not show my face.
There is a huge reason that we don't show your face. There have been random pictures of you on the transgender media page, but we don't do a video podcast. We actually limit both of our faces a lot. Mine is seen the most, but if your face is on the page, it's on there maybe like 2 or 3 times because of protecting you. It's also why we don't use our real names on this show either, even though sometimes I get pissed off and I remind people who I am. But it's also why that we intentionally don't use our real names.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because outside of the podcast, I live in a place where I am silent. And yet I know I am in a blue state. Things are but I live in a very red spot in a blue state.
Yeah.
And I go into other red spots in a blue state. I am silent in a place that I have protection. But I only have protection to that community standard.
And we exist. Our hometown where we live is definitely a red spot. And where our worship center is a dark red spot.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the only reason I bring that up is, even though, yes, I have lovingly been giving the inspirational students, when I have brought up stuff like the thing that happened in the bathroom a couple of years ago, nothing has happened. Kindly, nothing has happened. Well, and it's the inaction of stuff that causes more silence.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna bring the towards, because it hasn't happened since those years, and I don't have the energy to deal with it again.
And it's not. There does unfortunately come moments in our lives that when it's no longer a problem for us, we forget that it's still a problem for other people.
Yeah.
And
so
yeah,
you need to be aware. That's why I would say when you know those incidents have happened to people in the community, and you are an ally, when they start talking about it and they need witnesses and you witnessed it, you need to talk about it. You need to.
If you see something, say something.
Yes.
Yes. Because unlike the way that some Christians practice Christianity, it's not all about you. It is about other people as well.
Yeah. Because sadly, a lot of these things happen behind closed doors. If you've been listening to the podcast for a while, shut up.
We're live, pal.
You know that incident happened behind closed doors.
Yeah.
So, when those moments do happen behind closed doors, your job as an ally is to be a support system, knowing the probability of something not happening is higher than something that would.
Yes.
To deal with the issue. That is your job.
Yes. And for right now, as we are celebrating, acknowledging the Day of Silence, we at Rolling Greens Golf and Cemetery try to make it as possible that we use our World Golfing Tour announcer voices for all of our conversations. That's right. You may be at the fifth hole trying to get that long putt that you haven't been able to make before, or you may have a special moment that you have a special memory of that special loved one that you spent time with. At Rolling Greens Golf and Cemetery, we like using our golf voices to allot you the privacy and peace to experience these moments the way you can. We are either giving you a soft golf clap for that long putt on that you've been trying for, or a small golf clap for the memories of the ones that you loved sharing the game with. That's right. Even on the National Day of Silence, we at Rolling Greens Golf and Cemetery, we use our golf voices because we respect that at Rolling Greens Golf and Cemetery, you have the opportunity to make that the place that you got your hole in one, the place for your hole for one. Rolling Greens.
Yeah. So, and I also wanted to bring up some events that happened from yesterday.
Yes, please do.
Luckily, like most of it, but very much, I know my class, so I kind of already knew the people who are outspokenly not down with people within my community, which is annoying. And
all right, so I want you to explain that before you get too far away from it. You have homophobic people that are loud about being homophobic.
Yeah, and transphobic.
And transphobic. Yes.
And who do not care to hide it. And
the teachers just let that fly?
The weird thing is, because we are a class of multiple friend groups, well, there's one big one in the class.
A friend group?
Yeah, that has a good amount of people that are very predictable in the same behavior. And there's only so much you can do with one person to acknowledge that big group.
Yeah.
And that, luckily, all of my teachers did at least one thing over the day. So that's for nights in all the classes. And we had two of our teachers talk about it at the start of it to inform people.
So this was a school-wide event?
Yeah, this is a school-wide event.
Okay, cool.
And I was the only one in my class that's going to lead on to my next point before we move over to May Day. I had the same couple of people ask the same questions every period. And that's where my annoyance came in from the start of this.
Yeah.
I'm in my state of being silent. I did the most advocating for myself than I've ever done.
Through being quiet.
Through being quiet and communicating in other ways.
Okay, perfect.
I have done the most advocacy for myself. that day when I'm silent and I was the one trying to take a step back from doing things that I do, doing advocacy that I do all the time. So it's that kind of, the teacher did what they could, and allies, I was the one that going, oh, I'm the only one doing it, so I'm bearing the load of the questions.
Yeah.
So it would kind of annoyance, because it gets to a point when you can clock so very easily as someone a part of the community when someone's doing performative allyship.
Alright, explain that, because I get it, but explain it. Explain your definition of performative allyship.
Performative allyship is someone openly that tends to not lean on that side of things, is asking the same questions repeatedly.
Yeah.
Or saying things that allies should say, but that's wrong enough that you know it's not allies.
They're mocking you.
Yeah.
They're mocking you. I got it.
So it's the same questions over and over again throughout the day when I'm like, and it got to a point during fourth period when it's two people together, and I'm like, I'm not going, you know what? It's like we're doing bacteria.
Yeah.
For the second half of it, I'm going to say I'd focus as possible and get through it, and let's deal with it as it comes. But it's that kind of like, I'm not going to focus on the lab.
Alright, so do me a favor, because you explained this to me yesterday, and I'm sure there's also some few listeners that are inquisitive about this, too. What were the questions they were asking? Can you give examples of the questions they asked?
Repeatedly, like, what is today? Why are you being quiet? Why? Tons of questions that I'm like, that would be lovely if I could verbal respond to you.
Yeah. But you toughed it out and did not do that.
I did not.
Okay, see, that's another place that I was confused yesterday, that you were explaining this to me too, that they finally broke you and you had to talk and yell at them, but you managed to stick with it.
I did not talk and yell at them because that's not what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And one of them said, what a hard protest to do, not talking all day. And I'm like, Feeties, you do not understand this.
No, they knew it. That's why they kept picking at you.
Yeah,
They knew it's hard to not talk, because that's what the other side does. They poke at you until you get angry and drop your demeanor and so forth.
Yeah, and I'm one of the people that I'm like, no, it's not. My anxiety would love me to do this all day. If I could do this all day, every day,
yeah,
and not talk and have like a good reason to, for me, avoid the anxiety of having an upsetting conversation with someone, and never saying a dumb thing. You get to do it to yourself instead.
I was gonna say, you don't have to do dumb things. They'll end up doing it for you.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't have to be the one to point it out, because you're inevitably going to fall on your face and I don't have to do anything about it.
Yeah.
Because you did it yourself, so I don't have to point out the flaw in your argument.
Yeah, so they're just trying to annoy you to the extent that you break your focus.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's what I like to be called a performative ally. Because they are performing allyship. But it's not true allyship.
I didn't hear any level of allyship. I heard them asking questions for the mere purpose of annoying you. That's called being a jackass, is what that's called.
Yep. Okay, now we're gonna move over to the other day.
Mayday.
And
we made it through May. I almost messed up on Mayday. I'll explain why in a minute. Do you want me to explain Mayday?
Yeah, you explain Mayday, because I only have the short information about it, and all the yesterday stuff that I rated our Instagram with when I had
Yes.
the energy to.
Yeah.
Good man, yesterday, if you saw any of the protests and any of the law enforcement response to nonviolent protests,
Yeah.
you... Ooh.
So, May Day was a physical protest in some areas, as Single H shared. There are the imagery in our stories from yesterday that you can go and see. But also, it is a nationwide economic blackout.
And multiple countries got into it. I'm sorry for...
Yeah, multiple
countries, and I do have to say, Mayday's been around since 1883, I'm pretty sure is what I've been seeing.
Yeah.
And this is not a new thing, and I'm going to say something about our culture really quickly. The reason we do not know about this is America's billionaire first. That's why we have Labor Day and not May Day.
Yes.
That is why. Everywhere else celebrates May Day and not Labor Day.
Yes.
So, now you can carry on.
But it's an economic blackout. No gas, no groceries. There was a push against not even going to school. And that was something that we discussed, but Single H had a dual protest and felt it was important for him to live in the day of silence at school. So
and let's not do any of the spending stuff part of May Day.
Yeah. And I got a gift card from Giving Blood and almost bought some stuff on Amazon with it. But thankfully, God punished me because the gift card that I got, it doesn't work. There's $50 in the universe that's just floating in cyberspace that's never going to be spent. But that's what I get for not thinking and trying to buy some things online.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was, for many places, it was an economic blackout.
Yes. Like, there was a giant one happening, and then I'll talk about ours in a second. There was a giant May Day strike in Berlin.
That makes sense.
They had a fire going while they were walking, and they were met with, at the front of the line, some very aggressive police reaction.
Yeah.
With a lot of pushing, to say the least. You can look up more stuff about that. But there was a lot of...
Well, I'll share real quick.
Yeah.
Berlin is probably going to be the loudest because they've been through this shit before.
Yep.
And they don't want it to reemerge somewhere else.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we also had giant strikes in LA, giant strikes in New York that you saw, that I put up some footage of on our story that might be still up, depending on, I don't know how long stories last. I'm not that
They last for one day.
Yeah.
There's a 24-hour cycle for stories.
That will be up until like 8 o'clock today, 8 p.m. today, if you want to look at that. And they were met with police action. And these are all non-violent protests that should not be met with aggression.
Yeah.
We have freedom of speech. None of these protests were violent, and police arrested organizers.
And a lot of the non-violent protests, we see violence arise in them because of the pushback from power sources.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there were times yesterday that I literally went out during a protest area, then the arrested people did it again a little bit later.
Yeah.
And there's footage of that you will see.
Because we still have issues with the Americanized Gestapo.
Yep.
Yeah.
But because we have organizer feed, It's still going out. We still have to keep on talking about it, no matter what. Because the rights of immigrants will nevertheless, I'm going to keep on saying it. If you keep making movement with one group of advocacy, you are making movement with all of them, because rights are interconnected. They are intersecting issues for everyone. If one people's rights are being taken away, another group's rights are.
Yes, absolutely. And that happens through everything.
Because intersectionality is a beautiful thing.
Yes.
But that means one fight is for everyone.
Yes.
But that also means we have multiple areas and multiple targets to get it from.
That's true.
We can have multiple groups targeting different rights, different policies that are targeting people's rights.
Yes. All right, we actually need to shut down this podcast for this week, but I want you to plug yourself. I want you to share about our new stickers.
So we finally have Rolling Green stickers, thanks to my co-host, and I will work on my design for Rolling Greens, because
Rolling Greens, our main sponsor, deserves as much products as we can do for them. And also, there is a new Transcended Media logo.
Yep, also thanks to this man. I also want to work on... I liked our original design. I then need to find that photo of the speaker and do it with something that has something to make the teeth pop out a little bit more.
Sure. So, go to our Instagram page at Transcendent Media. Go to our link tree. Go to the Single H Sticker Store, and you can find all of these things.
Which is still on Redbubble, because I haven't had the energy to figure out TeePublic.
Yes, I kind of would like some. I would really love a Rolling Greens t-shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, well, that's the Single H Show for this week.
Your name is?
My name is Joseph Mills. Your name is?
The Single H. Hang in there, y'all. You got this.